My people, what up, though? We are back with another episode of All Black Men Need Therapy. My name is Chief,
And I'm Butta. What's up, y'all?
and the fellas should be hopping on, but I'm not sure if they'll make it. If they don't, Bud and I gonna take it away. What's good, man? It's so cool that we opened the scene. For those of you watching, we opened the scene with smiles on our face, but it's been a heavy couple of days, man. We don't never want to start the episode off with this type of hurt. So before we even get into the check-in, let me just say rest in peace to the legendary Black Ice. We'll get more into that a little bit later. But LT, I like to ask without really, I know it may be hard with stepping on that topic. Let's check in, man. Tell me how you be, how you living, how you feeling. What's going on outside of the news we just recently heard?
Um, Candidly, um, it's been challenging.
Okay.
It's been a challenging. I feel like there's been like the spiritual pile-on,
Hmm.
and life has been lifing, quite life and like. I'm clear about the part I played in the lifing part in my own life. It just don't feel good. I'm ready
Hmm.
for some things to be different in my life, and I recognize I'm gonna have to do some real work, make some changes. Um, yeah, but life has been lifing from personal to professional. It's just been like a gut punch. I've been missing you, brothers.
Yeah, for sure.
So and even with today, it's just been like, God, dog it, right? Like it's just been one of them things where you just kind of got to stop and be like, yo, you good? I was told just yesterday, you got to let people in to support you. And I don't know if I'm not doing that because of ego or shame or whatever it is, but I know I have difficulty asking for support. It's a challenge for me. And
And
it's
then
just,
and then when you do, niggas don't answer the phone. My bad.
I, yeah, like I don't, but here's what's messed up. I don't have an expectation.
That's fair.
So it don't be like, oh, I called you, you didn't pick up. It's like, people busy. People got their own lives. Like I just feel that way.
Hmm.
And and I'm wondering if I'm being a bridge for relationship or am I being a barrier for relationships? Because my shutdown is strong.
Hmm.
My I'm cool is strong, and it's always from a place of love. It's not like I'm cool, f you. It's like I'm cool. Hey, we should do the thing. We ain't got to.
Hmm.
I'm that guy for the most part. So I'm in the thick of it. I'm a black man that needs therapy, and I've been on the hunt for a therapist. I really need. I really, I'm clear. I'm clear that I need that kind of support. Right now, talk therapy I think would support me. Up until it won't.
Hmm.
But it's been, my stuff is up, so it's been real.
No doubt. You said plain and simple that I'm ready for some things to be different. And I ask you, is this different something you can control?
I'm only interested in controlling the controllables,
Okay.
and so different. There's an aspect of it that is, but I mean, life being what it is I'm already in something different than what I was used to.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think some of it I can control. I think what I've learned is that none of it is in our control.
Hmm.
My goal and my challenge is not to let a bad day become a bad life.
Yeah. Yeah, for
So I
sure.
think that's where I'm mostly challenged. Like, oh mother, okay, and trying to reset on my own stuff. But it's cool. Like it's just a part of the process. How are you?
Yeah. Um I'm good, man.
That was the longest. I'm good.
No, because there's a lot of moving parts that I'm anxiously anticipating in a good way, but because I can't control any of it, it's
Got
kind of, it's just kind of weighing up. I got a lot of good things in the pipeline that could, could just make me feel better and put me in a better place, ease some tension, get some things off my spirit, and just overall help me feel better when these things align for me. And I just been just been working, been taking care of children, been trying to stay out of trouble, and just moving along. The kids are happy and healthy. There is really nothing at this point in time that's really been too overwhelming for me. But I got a lot of potentials in the air right now. And it's like if this thing happens, then that is going to happen with that, and then I can do that, and then that'll come into play. But I need it. This like it has to happen. This one thing happens, and then the rest of it kind of just falls in line. It's gonna be so cool to see it happen. So throw some prayers up for your boy, man. I got some things in the pipeline that could really,
always,
could
always.
really
Let
could
us know.
really be beneficial for me. So outside of that, man, everything is good. Mom's is healing. The knee is getting better.
Good.
She moving, but she ready to get the other one done so she can be, outside with it. So
Come on now, Peaches.
yeah, I'm hoping to see that happen, and then we're gonna be at the bingo and hitting these streets. Um, outside of that, man, all is well. All is really really well. So I don't want to. I want to make sure we just got try to sandwich affect this a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Positive, negative, positive, because what we're gonna get into from what y'all can be a little bit heavy, and I haven't really had a moment to damn it, that's about it. Like we can't keep crying on the episodes, man, because this damn shit about to walk up on me. I'm gonna try. I don't need to try, but I don't want to cry again. But in regards to the situation, I haven't really had a chance to purge. But ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who don't know, we, and I say we, I mean a collective we, the poetry community. Who was it the other day who said that? Kira J, I think, posted on her page. She goes, in the music, it's called the music industry. In TV, it's called the TV industry, the movie industry. In poetry, it's the poetry community. You know what I'm saying? It ain't the poetry industry. And the poetry community lost an icon, lost a pioneer, lost the trendsetter, lost
A giant.
a giant, lost it's I can't even describe the magnitude to which this man himself has inspired and empowered a generation of poets. And it's not, I don't say that lightly. Like there are a plethora of us who literally joined the game after watching him on Russell Simmons' Def Poetry Jam. Lamar Manson, the legendary Black Ice, was given his wings yesterday, and that is literally all I see on my timeline.
Same.
And it's, I mean, if I may, I'm just gonna get into it, man. And so I seen him on TV. He's a black dude speaking how I speak, talking how I talk about the things that I go through, and the connection was just like, oh my god, this is so dope. This is so dope. And I'm like, I wanna, I wanna get better at writing. I want to be like this. I want to get on TV and be like this cat. And I jumped in the poetry game and making connections and getting on different stages, and still hadn't had an opportunity to meet him. I get the honor and the blessing to record Lexus Versus and Flow in LA, and I get out there, and Versus and Flow was a big deal at the time. And there's a variety show with basically poets, and it was a poetry show with musical singers that accompanied us. Like it was about the poets. So we get there, but I'm shaking hands with Charlie Wilson, Estelle, Raekwon, Anthony Hamilton. Like there's some Mark Jussie Smollett. Like there's some Molly Muse. There's some marquee names in the Leila James. Like Leila James. There's some marquee names in the building. Maxwell. I'm hanging out with all these people, and it was cool. Don't get me wrong. I'm still essentially starstruck. We leave rehearsal, and I'm walking back to my hotel, and it's like a scene from the movie. Like I'm going, well, I guess I'm going west, and he coming south, and like we hit the corner and almost bump into each other. Oh, my bad, bro. And I look up, and it's Black Ice, and I literally like jump in my skin. Was like starstruck, and I was like, like speechless for a second. And I'm like, bro, you have no idea how pleased I am to have this type of encounter. He shook my hand, was super humble about it. We got to talking. Next thing you know, we walking around the block to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, sitting down, having some meals, talked for like 2 hours, and just kind of kicked it. And that's where our friendship began. And then next thing we still keeping it. We record the show, and then the next season rolls about, and he hits me up like, "Yo, me, you, and Prentice should get up there and do this group piece." And I'm like, "You for real? Look at me stuttering, like what? Like for real? Like?" And it was so cool because I had read him a poem, and he was like, "Yo, I like that. We should chop that joint up and do it on the thing." So I'm like, "Bet." So I hit Prentice, and Prentice like, for sure. So Prentice wrote his lines or whatever. We weaved them in and made the poem work. And for me, that moment was probably one of the highlights of my career. Because at the time, I mean, Black Ice is like the Michael Jordan of poetry. And Prentice was so busy doing his thing. He was like the LeBron James. So I'm like, yo, I get to hoop with Jordan and LeBron, and we using my ball. Like this is cool. Like this is cool. You know what I'm saying? So that was literally one of the highlights of my career. We got some ill photos. Took an ill photo shoot. I got some great photos with them cats. Like it, it was something that I'll never ever forget. And like most people don't get to meet their idols, and if they do, they don't get the chance. Very few of them get a chance to work with them. So to be able to meet him and then work with him and have something that we will have forever now. Like you can go on YouTube and it's there. Hashtag it's called hashtag with Chief Black Ice and Prentice Powell. Check it out. I should have downloaded it and put it in here, but it's just something that I'll never forget. And there's not enough nice things I could say about this brother, and I can tell you everybody else says the same thing. And it's not just because he passed away and people are like, oh, I want to show my connection. This is literally how this dude was. He was so well loved, so well respected, adored. He was funny as hell. If you would think he was a comedian, if you didn't know any better, you know what I'm saying? But Black Ice, man, you changed lives, and you mean so much to so many people. And I hope they had an opportunity to tell you while you were still here. I know I did, and I can hold my head high with that. Um, rest in peace, my man.
I it's so it's crazy. I remember my first experience with Black Ice after I aired on HBO that poetry jam. He's like, I ain't with that shit. Um, but he gave me my props. He's like, you're a dope poet, and I just laughed. I was like, okay. Now at the time, I know what Black Ice was.
Hmm.
Um, and the more I would listen to his work and see him, I just grew to respect him. And like he was so cool. Like the more he saw me, he was like, oh, okay, I get it now.
Hmm.
Right? He was just real cool. And I remember the last time I saw him was some years ago at your event.
Hmm.
You had did something in Connecticut that I hosted, and he was just real cool. Him, Prentice, it was just such a cool, like it was a cool moment. The evening was fire. People were um, people were really kind, and it was just a good ass time. And I just remember being like, "Yo, like these brothers are giants. They gonna do big things." Right, and this is after, of course, HBO and Broadway. I mean, Prentice was Tony Award winning, Peabody and Emmy awards. So
Black Ice, you mean? Black Ice.
Black Ice,
Yeah.
it was just crazy. It was just crazy, crazy, crazy. So I'm just, you know, I talked to some people today that knew him, and they shared some stuff I'm not at liberty to share, but he was loved. What I
Hmm.
can share is that I had the pleasure of doing Poetry versus Hip Hop. I hosted that event. We honored Abby O'Doon, and only to learn that Black Ice was given the name, or the name was blessed as a result of Abby O'Doon,
Hmm.
one of the founding members of the Last Poets. and he loved Black Ice. So, um, and it was unfortunate because I'm the person that actually shared the information with his people. He had no idea that something had happened to Black Ice, in the way of his passing. So, and I knew something was up because they usually will. Somebody from his team will call me, be like, "Hey, Butta, we're doing the thing. Want to make sure you're good." Da 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 da. But for me, it was Danny Simmons first. Like somebody was about to introduce me to Danny Simmons, to start doing some work, and he passed, and I was like, "Dang!" Like, and this is like the second or third time. Quite literally, somebody's like, "You got to meet Danny Simmons. Danny Simmons got to meet you." And I knew him in passing, but I had never made it a point to be like, "Hey, my name is Butterfly Soul." And now Black Ice. Well, no, it was Malcolm,
Mm-hmm.
Malcolm Jamal Warner, Danny Simmons, and then Black Ice. And I'm just like, and I think the thing, what made me want to talk about it today is that, like, what happens when you lose heroes who've become like your colleagues, and then how do you like live inside of that grief? I know for a while, because I'm a man of a certain age, I got tired of seeing obituaries with my peers on them,
Mm-hmm.
like friends who I had gone to high school with, like they were on obituaries, dog. And I'm like, and my comedic brain, which is not haha so funny in the moment that it was the moment, was like, some of y'all look like y'all could lift buildings, like in shape, fit. I'm like, forget it, just give me another cheeseburger, cause like, like I just couldn't understand it. And I tell people all the time, I think if I'd have stayed in um Chicago, I don't think I would be on the planet.
Hmm.
I really don't. I don't think I'd be here, and not because of the gun violence. I think I almost felt like it was something in the water with my peers. I lost so many of them, and Black Ice was like, he was a young brother, like he wasn't no old dude.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the thing that makes this conversation hard.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know why. Like even when I called, just like, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. I was like, why do I remember a picture with him?
Mm-hmm.
And when you sent me the picture, man, it broke me. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna cry on the streets. I don't want to be that kind of vulnerable in the world. And it brought me back to that question. I think I had asked I might have asked you, but I asked one of my other boys. I was like, "Yo, do you cry for yourself? Like, do you cry for you? Like, I haven't
Yeah,
cried
yeah.
for
You asked me. Yeah, it was me.
yeah." And I'm like, "Yo, I don't know why I just checked into that. Like, life is lifing right now, and I don't have the energy to cry because I got so much shit I got to get done. Like, I'm gonna put crying." Like I'm a pencil in crying next week Wednesday. I'm gonna cry Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I just, it's just, I got a couple of questions I'd like to like jump into, but everything from navigating loss to really getting clear about what that looks like.
Well, you asked the question, and I think we can unpack that real quick though. You said, "Do you cry?" Do you cry for yourself?
Yeah, do you cry for yourself
And
at this age? Like, are you aware that like, oh, I'm crying for myself?
I think so. So here's the thing. I think with men is, let me before I so to answer the question, yes, I absolutely do. But I think men have become so accustomed to the toughness and to the machismo that we won't even allow ourselves to cry for ourselves in private on our own. Like nobody has to know, nobody's gonna know, but we won't even allow ourselves to do that because of the societal pressures or whatever the case may be. We put that on us. You can't be soft
Mm.
with ourselves. If we can't be soft with ourselves, then who the hell are we supposed to be soft with? If you won't give yourself permission to cry on your own by your lonesome, how you gonna let a therapist in? How you gonna let your significant other in? How you gonna be able to get some of this shit off your chest if you can't even release it within yourself?
Yeah, that's real. That's so super real. I was looking at some things that I do in my workshop, and I was just like, yo, I think I'm closing off. I gotta open up. I think I'm starting to turn in some.
Mm,
Not some, I'm being casual. I'm
Mm-hmm.
starting to turn in. I'm starting to be like, all right, I'm cool. Y'all got it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's dangerous
Hmm.
and it's
Indeed.
absolutely not healthy. Like, I think about like survivor's remorse. I went through a lot of that
Mm-hmm.
in losing people. Like when I think about this brother's legacy, and I'm like, yo, I ain't doing nothing. Not like a comparison. Do you get what I'm saying?
I do.
People looking into my life wouldn't say that.
Mm-hmm.
But when I look at his life, I'm like, I'm pissed. I'm like, there are 100 people that this planet could do without, and I know that's very disrespectful in me.
Yeah, Prentice worded it nicely in his post of dedication to Black Eyes. He said something like, "The universe fucked up today,"
Yeah,
and and I can't be mad at it, man. Like it,
yeah, that's how I feel, man. I'm angry. I'm mad.
yeah. The universe messed up, and he said, American literature lost today, and I think that's fair, man. Um, so, fellas, I think with that, we carry so much, and I've been told, and research says, tears, crying is the only way your body naturally releases stress.
Yeah,
Naturally. So a
like if I'm
good
hearing your story, I could sob.
Mhm. But when it comes to yourself,
Part of it is I put myself in this situation.
still okay to cry.
Yeah, I believe you. Also feel like I can't keep, I can't blame my parents for not preparing me for stuff. That was one of my conversations.
Hmm.
For a while, like they didn't do that. And I'm like, what I know for sure, this brother was surrounded with love,
Hmm.
even in like his experience of life. And yeah, I don't have that. So I'm like, oh wow, that's crazy. While I'm trying to figure out emergency funds and trying to get down to 3 credit cards,
Hmm.
um, I'm like, dude, I did not stack the deck for myself. Right? The irony is, I just had a conversation with my niece about sitting down with her and my other 2 nieces and going over the stuff.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Then I had somebody call me like, "Hey, I'm doing this new thing with like insurance and retirement." I'm like, "Yeah, I need to holler at you because if I can spend this kind of money on shoes, I need to plan." My only trepidation in those kind of things is I want to be with a reputable insurance company,
Hmm.
and I'm willing to invest the money, but I want to make sure if something happens to me, you not getting a message like, "Hey, we doing a GoFundMe for Butta,"
Right.
right? And I don't know, it won't matter. I'm dead, right? But I don't want to put that kind of pressure on my family. So like that's what. And then his death just messed me up, man. It
Nah, yeah. Mess a lot of
messed
people up.
me real bad. Like I don't know. It's for you, like because I've had the pleasure of working with you on a piece of your own work and a portion of your life. Did you go through any like guilt or regret when your brother passed?
Huh. I can't even begin to describe to you the level of guilt and regret that I carried because for one, he asked me to go with him that night, and not that me being there would have made a difference in what happened to him. But I definitely struggled with it for a while. But and that's what I'm. It's literally what I'm writing about now. Well, I don't want to talk too much about that, but that's what I'm writing about now. And what I learned is I was 28 when it happened, and I don't know that I had a real definition of grief until that experience.
Mhm.
I don't know what that felt like or what the cycle consisted of until I went through it. And even in the middle of it, I didn't realize what it was until I started reading about it. And it that guilt and regret still kind of sits on me to this day. And I know, just through therapy and through reading, I know, obviously it's not my fault. But you make up anything in your head to kind of make sense of what happened.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is definitely wrapped around, if you were there, I don't know. I don't know. But to answer your question, yes, man, guilt and
No, no,
regret.
no. I mean, I get it. I have a good friend whose mom passed. I called everybody to tell them to call her, to reach out to her. I
Hmm.
haven't called her yet.
Mm.
They didn't have the funeral, everything. It triggered all of my stuff around my mom's passing. Like triggered it like, oh snap.
You make a very good point, and I'm gonna I'm about to go to my phone and I'm gonna download this thing, and I think I want to put it in here because it it really helped me. I went through an experience recently with someone, and they were triggered, and they responded in the way a person who is triggered responds. But in the conversation around it, it was, well, we were both triggered. No, 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 no. I wasn't triggered. You were triggered. I recognize this as a pattern of trauma from my past and have dealt with it in therapy. So my response in that moment wasn't from a trigger. It was from doing the work.
Yeah.
I spoke calmly. I tried to make peace. I kept it simple. I kept it cordial. I was really calm in the moment. I didn't. It was, so, and what I did was I had to I had to help help them see what a trigger actually is.
Oh wow.
And what I did was I pulled a quote or a reel from a therapist online. I don't even know shorty name, but I'm gonna find it in a second. But I'm gonna get it up here and let everybody listen to it, and just to help people, because people use that word trigger a lot, and everything ain't a trigger.
Everything ain't a trigger.
No,
And
and
your triggers are your responsibility.
1,000%.
Your tri- right. People hold them like, oh, I'm you triggering me. No, they not triggering you. You want to get really clear about that. That's why I tell people even about boundaries. Don't confuse a temper tantrum with setting a boundary. Because we get caught up doing that. And I think to your point, like if you're supporting people around triggers, support us around trauma too. Because you got big T trauma and little T trauma.
Mhm.
People don't always know the difference. And I think that's because we can chat GPT it, or we'll go to Google and look for a remedy of mental health from like a couple of clicks on your keyboard.
Mhm.
And no judgment if you're getting therapy from Chat GPT or you're talking to a black auntie. And I know people who have done that and felt like they've been supported. I just feel like you've given over your information to somebody who's holding it. Forgive me for my conspiracy. But that's really how.
Man, yeah. So I wanted to this trigger stuff is really, I think it's a different conversation that people aren't having that I believe they should, because this really does, it really does break down what a trigger is for some people,
Yeah.
and or what a trigger is in general. And I think when people see this simple break, it's like a minute long thing. It's simple. When people see this simple breakdown, it'll really help them understand and go, you know what? Maybe I'm annoyed, and instead of triggered. I'm a little frustrated instead of triggered.
Now, what does that mean, though?
Right. I'm about to pull it up, and we're gonna dissect the hell out of this because I think it's important. Let me check Shorty's name. Doctor. I think it's. I don't know if she's a doctor, but it's Raquel, the capacity expert. It says her name here. Raquel Hopkins, certified coach and therapist, doctoral student. So she's going to be a doctor soon. I'm sure you've seen her all over the interwebs. But I'm about to put her joint in here real quick so that everybody can see, and then we'll go from there. Check this out.
Being triggered isn't the same thing as being annoyed, irritated, or uncomfortable. So when you're annoyed, it means something got on your nerves. When you're irritated, your patience is tested. When you're uncomfortable, you're being stretched. But a trigger is different. It's when something in the present moment pulls you back into a past experience, a pain, trauma, or unresolved hurt, and it hijacks your system and makes you react as if the past is happening all over again. So example, if you grew up in a violent household and now as an adult you hear a door slam, you don't just hear a noise. Your body goes into fight, flight, or freeze. Your heart races, your chest tightens, and you feel like you're back in an unsafe place. That's a trigger. And that matters because it's hard to build capacity when your language does not support it. If you call every inconvenience a trigger, we water down the word and we lose the ability to name what's actually happening inside of you. Sometimes you're annoyed, sometimes you're stretched, and sometimes you're truly triggered. Knowing the difference is how you grow.
Mm.
And it made sense to me because this is a testament to the growth, Butter, because in that moment the person didn't recognize that they were triggered from the trauma of their past. The next day, they were like, "Oh wow, it all made sense." But in that particular moment, they couldn't see it, and nor were they trying to hear anything I said. No matter how calm I was, no matter how easy my delivery was, they weren't trying to hear anything I said. And for me in that moment was like, bro, it's a testament to the work that you're doing, because had this experience popped up prior to therapy and prior to you doing the work, you would have fought fire with fire. You would have engaged in a negative banter, and it's a testament to healing. So the healing and the work, y'all, you got to put it in. But when you know you've grown, when you no longer respond the same way you did to traumas presenting themselves in your world, and that was huge for me. So the moral of that quick session was, be careful when using the word triggered, because like Raquel stated just now, when you're triggered, your body naturally takes over and you almost can't control it in that moment, because you have now dug back into that same place that brought that trauma about.
Mm. That's powerful.
No, it was a big, it helps me to again identify the growth, and it helps me to also help others understand, like, triggers are something totally different than being annoyed or bothered.
Yeah, and that's one thing. That's what I got really clear about with the woman, with my friend and her mom's passing. Like, it took me back to when I put my mom in the hospital in 2018 and went through like this high performance depression where I was able still able to deliver, but I blame my mom for my mom's. I blamed myself for my mom's death. I felt like it was my fault. I knew she didn't like. I knew she didn't like hospitals. She was a nurse, and my mom went in the hospital, and she never got better.
Mhm.
She only got progressively worse until she passed in 2020. And it was just very interesting. And God and I have been, having real conversations. I just saw a show with Tracy Ellis Ross on Broadway here in the city, and the piece is about this young lady whose mom had a series of episodes where she may have tried to commit or tried to attempt suicide. And I'm always fascinated when people go, "Oh, those people are being selfish," but I think it's about. I really do believe that people are just trying to remove pain, and so they go to the one place that they think pain doesn't live, and that's death. Nobody comes back from death and say, "Ooh, that hurt," right? And so, and I know it sounds like we're all over the place, but like going back, we don't know what Black Ice was dealing with. We don't know what conversations he was having with himself. And though we're clear that he did not commit suicide, I think there is a level of silence that Black men hold in our pain that, you know, people have posted, "Oh, he was so sick." And I'm like, who knew that? Right? Like that. And so for me, I think about Chadwick Boseman, who I knew for years. It's just funny how the brain turns certain things off. I saw that brother in Black Panther, and I was like, dang, he looked real familiar. Like I feel like I should know him. I've known that dude as Chad for years. That in writing groups and the whole nine. But it was something about my brain just like turned it off with Black Ice. I didn't want to go deeper into the conversation, but the more I talked to people I talked to today, I was like, God, dog it. And then I shared the photo that you sent to me with one of the people, and and I'm like, I don't know if I want to post it. I think I kind of want to just keep it as my memory. You get what I'm saying? I just don't like. I'm not trying to. I don't know another word, but like grief dump or grief pile on. But I just feel like I kind of want it for myself. But I thought it would be remiss that we would come to a show called All Black Men Need Therapy, and I talk about what we sometimes need therapy in, and speak to my own place of therapy, like how his death caused me to look at my own mortality. Right at the age that you are right now, and given all that you've accomplished and what you're further dreaming into, because he had dreams also. What I was told is that he was being asked to perform later this year. Like, what is that for you? Like, how do you when you're in this experience or experiences like this, how do you look at your own mortality, or do you like does your own mortality?
Um, I don't really look at it like that. I I think I'm afraid of it,
Okay.
and I I haven't really. So one of your questions I saw was like, have you thought about have you lost someone like relatively close to your age? And I have, but even with being just taken aback by Black Eye situation, it hits a little harder when it's like near and like my brother type
Like
of
you're right.
situation. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So, and also I think over the course of time I've become so immune to I can't not immune, desensitized almost. That's the word I'm looking for. I've become desensitized to it and to a certain degree. Like I firmly believe and know in my heart that outside of losing one of my children, there isn't a thing that can bring me back to the way I felt when I lost my brother.
That's real.
Like, so it's just like when it happens, it's like, I allow myself to cry and I allow myself to feel, but nothing will take me back there. Like that was so low and so dark. And to be able to climb out of that, it's like I know how to deal with that now. So I can't see myself going back that deep because I've gotten out of it. So I know if something like that happens again, I kind of know the routine or I know it takes time. I know I got to get around people. I know I got to talk to people. I know, so even if I may not want to do it, I know that's what I got to do to help me get out of it. So nothing will bring me back there again. So when these things happen now, with being slightly desensitized, it doesn't tear my core apart anymore.
That's powerful. I didn't have that. I thought I would have that for my mom and my dad. No, that's a lie. I thought I was supposed to because they were my mom and my dad.
Mm-hmm.
But because of the relationship, they were people that I cared about that died, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I've not had a significant death that was like, that I'm aware of as I'm talking to you, that had that kind of impact. I don't know that I want to know that kind of impact, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love my mom, I love my dad, but we didn't have that kind of relationship. I even felt guilty for having grief.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, dude, you didn't even like, you weren't speaking to your father. Like, don't do that.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Right. But what I
Yeah.
learned is that, grief is what grief is. Like, it's not, it don't care about the relationship, it don't care about any of that. But there was no significant like, oh my God. Like, I miss my cousins on my father's side a lot. And with my mom, I don't know, with both of them I just held so much resentment. Like, they really did not like me. And so I was like, yo, like, they didn't like me and didn't prepare me,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I want to put this in the air real quick to one of our avid supporters, Mikey P. He watches all the time. Shout out to Mikey P, and we appreciate you. Mikey, I don't want to put this energy on you, but I do want to know, man, did what I just say make sense? Because Mikey lost his mom a while ago, and
sorry for your loss, Mikey.
yes, please, and I know that, you know, having that happen so close tears you apart. Are you in this? Yeah, Mikey, shoot me a text too when you get this, because every now and then when the episode hit him, he'll text me, and just let me know, man. Is like that something that, or to anybody listening, like when you lose that person that's so close to you, are you a bit more desensitized to the loss now? Or does every loss still hit you the same and put you in that dark spot? Hopefully you haven't lost too many people that close to you, but I really genuinely feel like, Butter, like outside of my children, there's nothing that can make me like. Obviously, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna be deep. It's
Now,
gonna be heavy.
here's the flip side of that. I don't know if the conversation around grief and loss is there, but I think with my mom and my dad, because my mom died in 2020, my dad died in 2024, I don't care a lot about other people's opinion of me. Like, something fell off me. I can't explain it to you. Like, I don't have, it's things that, yeah, I don't care to be around people the way I used to be, but I also don't, I'm desensitized to some other stuff. I'll be honest about that. Like losing both of you. I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, when you said it, I'm like, I think I got some of that too. Like, I lost both my parents. Ain't much else you could like do to me.
Right. So like I say that about everything though. So like, you know, flip my truck and total my car, brand new car, and I'm just like, oh, so you saying I can't go to McDonald's and get this oatmeal right now? He's like, nah. I'm like, all right, and just walk to work. Like, that was literally my response. It wasn't like, oh damn, I gotta call insurance, I don't got no car. It was like, it's like, nigga, I lost my brother. Like, this car is light work. You know what I'm saying? I can get another car.
That's how I felt about my parents. I was like, both my parents did. Like, I'm good.
Like, yeah, like you can't, you oh, you think this breakup gonna kill me? Like, get out of here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, to those listening, has grief desensitized you to a point where things that normally held a lot of weight are just like, whatever now? I don't know. It hits everybody differently. But you said grief is what grief is, and grief is what grief is, and I think
you just triggered a thought where you just reminded me, Lord have mercy, triggered. You just reminded me of a moment I was going through a really bad. You talking about a breakup? I was going through a very bad breakup. My first heartbreak. of somebody I really cared about. I called my mom. I was like, Mom, you know, da da da. She said, call me back when you're my son.
Mm.
You
Mm.
never experienced me that kind of vulnerable. That's how locked in I
Mm.
was to I don't need you. Call me back when you're my son. I'll never forget that as long as I live. I was like, got it.
Wow.
And it just thought, I mean, from then on, I just went back to I'm good. Baby, how you doing? I got me.
Wow.
I got me. And so that, but that, the funny part of that, because she was who she was, I did a lot of stuff. Like I did, the world could tell me no, but I wasn't gonna be a no to me. Right. So it's things like that where I'm like grateful for her for and understand it. Right. But then also looking at, I think about peers in school that I've lost and stuff like that. And I'm like, what I've learned too is that grief, we handle grief differently. I'm a shopper, so I will do emotional shopping, right? I will buy a shoe and a shoe and a shoe to go with that shoe. And then I'll find myself returning shoes. Like, you don't need this. When my dad died, I Teamu'd so many sunglasses. I shit you not. I ordered like 20 pairs of sunglasses from Timu and gave most of them away as gifts. Crazy. Just crazy. Like that's how I handled it. I was like, oh, okay, cool. But I learned that from my mom. When I told her I wanted to commit suicide, she said no problem. She went and bought me a Mark Buchanan leather jacket, $700. My grades did not reflect that I should be walking around in a $700 jacket in high school, but I did.
Hmm.
And that's how I've been. That's how I would manage and cope, right? And then I keep thinking about my legacy. What is going to be my legacy? You know, what is going to be your legacy? Like, how do you feel about that? What is like, how would you define legacy for yourself?
Yeah, we had this conversation a couple times on the podcast. I think legacy lives in my children.
Yeah.
I think legacy lives in the name. Like right now, as much as there's been a dysfunction in the family, the Peterson name holds weight in this city. You hear the Peterson, they know, what I'm saying? Like, oh, so and so your mom or so and so your uncle, you know what I mean? So everybody knows. So that's something that, I would like legacy to be. But at the end of the day, I think you want to leave outside of my children. I firmly, like, God forbid, knock on wood and all the good things. But like, if it were me, I would anticipate a similar thing like now with Black Ice. Like, people would share good stories because I do right by people. Because I do right by people. You know what I'm saying? I'm not out here like, there ain't nobody who gonna be dragging me like, well, he was a piece of shit or blah blah. I mean, obviously
Integrity.
most people don't talk like that about the dead anyway. But like, I think it would be one of them things where, like, I show everybody love.
Yeah,
One thing I do want to do is I want to take more pictures.
please.
I want to capture more memories. I don't think I take enough. But to look back in my archives, like I was talking to Roya today. Shout out to Roya Marsh. But I was looking for pictures of Black Ice and came across like a bunch of pictures of me and Roya, and then I was like, I got to reach out to her. And ironically, she hit me up before I got a chance to reach out to her. And it's just like, this is the universe speaking. And as much as we want to give our people their flowers, let's create the memories too. Even if it is just a quick snapshot for a moment, but like those will last forever. Grief is what grief is. I'm gonna think I'm gonna title the episode this grief is what grief is, man. And we all handle grief differently. And a wise man said a long time ago, like, we got to be able to overcome adversity, and how we overcome that adversity often determines our character. And
Mm.
and grief is a part of that adversity. So let's be more mindful or cognizant of how we can handle grief in a manner that adds to our character in a way we can progress and not digress. But
Yeah.
you mentioned legacy, but like, what does that look like for you, bro?
Right now, because of the work that I do, I'm grateful that My living legacy looks like people's lives changing.
Mm.
People living their dreams, going after what they want, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what I would like for my inheritance, the inheritance I would like to like have people operate in is that they pay it forward what they say they've received from me. Right? Like there's a phone call I have to make because there's somebody in my DM saying, "Hey, can you speak to my child?" And I'm like, I don't have children.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But I pray, I talk to God, and I'm like, all right, cool, right? And I don't, and what I don't do, I don't approach those moments like I'm here to fix something. I'm just coming to listen. You know, that's one of my other superpowers. Along with talking, but really mostly it's the listening. And I want to be genuine about that. And this Black Ice made me think about you three.
Really?
Yeah. And just thinking about how much I love y'all and what my life would have been like had I not had this time with you all. And just like, damn, like I feel bad for those people in his life
Mm.
that he gave a reason to live,
Mm.
right? That he like lit a fire or inspired. Not from all the poetry, but from a what's up, just checking in to see how you doing, right? Going on Instagram and seeing the event that I wanted to go to in Oakland and could not figure myself out. I had to work the weekend that it happened, but
Mm.
go there and support Prentice, like those, like those kind of things. And it's interesting, like when I talked to you earlier about Bell, he's just been on my mind a lot, and I was like, yo, like I don't know, it's I thought about y'all. I thought about the brothers who are close to me, that I'm close to and that I love, and I was like, I feel bad for those people. Like I'm sad for his family. I'm absolutely sad for his children. But I'm equally just as sad for those people who secrets he held. You know, it's something about being able to go to a giant and tell your truths to,
Mm-hmm.
right?
I want to say that you make a very valid point, and I have to put it in the air like like this podcast has become a necessity now.
Same.
Like fellas, like I know, we go through our shit off the screen and have our situations and still trying to tighten up and get our shit right. But Bell and Prentice, I want y'all to know that I need y'all. Like in a real way.
I need you.
In a real way. Like, and being able to just tap in with y'all and fellowship. These relationships mean more to me than what Bell knows. Prentice, they know. I don't have to say this. They know. But I think saying it out aloud right now empowers some of the people watching to maybe hit their people up and give them these type of flowers. But yeah, I need y'all boys, man. And I can't even imagine, but like what you said, you feel bad for those people. Like it wouldn't be able to process that.
That's
So
what it hit me like almost immediately. When that's what made me reach out to you immediately. Like, what would I do?
yeah,
I
I
can't.
couldn't.
I think that, and I'm going through so much right now, and I'm not talking about it. But I was like, the people that give me wind,
Mm-hmm.
y'all don't even know. It'd be the simplest. It'd be slick stuff in our group chat, in our group text,
Mm-hmm.
or it'd be moments where you and Bill be like at it with each other.
And you just sit back living the life. That's what you do. Sit back and just smile into it and be like, this is so good. I'm so glad I got to see it.
Right, because you like it's love in real time.
Yeah.
Right. And I think about all the young men that we've lost to like, all the stuff happening in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I think about people like, Black Ice who figured out family and love. He loved his kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know what people would say about him.
I tell you what.
Care to know.
I do know that man absolutely, more than life itself, loved his father. And his father passed not too long ago, maybe 2 years before he did, maybe 3. And I could say, if for those of you who are spiritual people, that man is in a good place right now. He is with his father, and it's okay, for sure. Because he spoke of his dad like he held heaven and earth in his hands and heart. And to be reconnected with his father, I know Lamar Manson is in a good place, for sure.
I mean, I don't even think there's anything else to say after that.
Nah, for sure. Yeah, we ain't even gonna give no final thoughts. Just love on your people.
Please.
Love on your people, and just remember that Black men need hugs today and tomorrow.
More than ever. Today, more than ever. More than I've. Please kiss your sons. Kiss your sons. I'm talking to my dads. Yeah. Kiss and hug your sons. Yeah. Please give them the boxing gloves. Give them the gym. But I see so many reels. A father. There's this one brother. He just hard. He like, yeah. He in the boxing ring with his son. Like I said, and his son just walk up to him and kiss him. He like, don't be doing that right now. We got to da 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 da. Like so, he like. He's with him. Then there's another brother whose son kissed him. And we're going to talk about that on the pod. Where he was talking to his son. His son wanted to give him a kiss. And then he says to his dad, you can do it.
Yeah.
He was encouraging him, man. And then there's another brother with an autistic son. And his son is nonverbal. And he just loved on this kid. I'm so glad that he gets to be with his father, and his father gets to be with his baby. Hate it has to be like this. I'm glad he's not suffering or anything like that, based upon what people are saying. Rest in peace, Lamar. Rest in peace, Black Ice.
For sure. Y'all be cool. How y'all be cool? And again, do us all a favor and hug a Black man today.
Please.
And tomorrow. We out, y'all.